Hey everybody, ExxotikGaming here. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Welcome back to another mobile gaming top 10 video where today I'm going to be talking about 10 games or series for PC and console that I would absolutely love to see on mobile devices. These are the types of games that everybody wants to see on mobile, and we can only hope that the developers are secretly working on a mobile version of the game. I don't really know. I really hope you all do enjoy this video. If you do, please take a second and leave a like and subscribe for more mobile gaming top 10 videos like this. And before we actually begin, I'd love to know what you guys have to say because I only have my list. You might have a completely different list. Give me like your top 3 or your top 5 games you'd love to see for mobile because I'm sure everybody has completely different opinions and it would be really cool. Leave a like on somebody else's comment if you agree with their list. But yeah, with that being said, guys, hope you enjoy and let's get into the list. We're going to start things off with the most obvious game on the entire list, GTA 5. Everybody wants a GTA 5 mobile game. And I bet at some point in the future, it could definitely come to mobile devices, just like some of the other GTA games are slowly rolling out for iOS and Android. There are already people working on emulating GTA 5 for mobile devices, and it looks kinda good, at least on some of the top-of-the-line Android devices, but I mean, there's really no comparison to a real GTA 5 mobile made by Rockstar. Imagine having the full game on your phone. You can freely explore the entire massive map, plan both single player and multiplayer, add crazy mods to the single player version of the game, and have the ultimate open world experience right in the palm of your hands. We already have huge battle royale games, Delta Force, Arena Breakout, Once Human, and other big open world games for mobile devices right now. So I don't really see how it could be that far off, to be completely honest with you. Maybe a few more years of processor development, but it honestly could happen soon. I just know if they ever did release a version of GTA 5 mobile that was compatible with a decent number of devices, it would probably be the most popular mobile game ever in the history of mobile gaming. So I mean, like, I think it's something Rockstar should get on, even though it's not really possible yet. They should be working on trying to make it possible, and it would be one of the best mobile games ever released. Next up is the Forza Horizon series, ideally Forza Horizon 4 and Forza Horizon 5. I absolutely love these games, and I think they're probably some of the best and most realistic open world racing games for PC right now. One is set in England and the other one is set in Mexico, and the graphics are just absolutely incredible. So many different cars to choose from, and there's literally a plethora of different activities and challenges that you can do in the game to keep you occupied for hours at a time. I love all the hidden barn finds, speed traps, jumps to maximize distance, and secret things hidden all across the map for you to find out. This racing game series allows you to go pretty much anywhere. There's very little that's off limits to you, and it really gives a good sense of excitement and exploration. I personally really hate when these supposedly open world games only allow you to drive on roads and that's it. Like, come on, sometimes I want to try and take a shortcut through some trees in the forest or whatever. I don't really know. A lot of games don't allow you to do that, and Forza series actually does, which is why it's such a good game series. You can just drive around for hours, messing around and doing whatever the heck you want, customize a car, drive around, explore new areas, and that's what I want in a mobile racing game. Not only that, you have an awesome storyline, multiple different maps that you can actually explore in as you progress through the game. You can actually unlock other additional maps that you can teleport to. There's both multiplayer and single player and pretty much anything that you could possibly want in a racing game. There's no reason we can't have amazing graphics on a game like this because, I mean, we've had games like Asphalt 8 for like 10 years, dude. I mean, and think of how far devices have come in 10 years. Seriously, we could have like an amazing game for mobile devices. I just hope it actually happens. The third type of game I'd love to see on mobile devices is Star Citizen, or some type of game like it. Now, I know this is completely unrealistic with today's technology, but I mean, you can dream, right? Star Citizen is this crazy ambitious multiplayer game that combines space trading, combat simulation, and first-person shooter elements. In this game, you're given the freedom to explore the Stanton system, their own recreation of space with their own planets, moons, space stations, and asteroid belts. And when I say life-size, I actually mean it, okay? I remember watching a video from a YouTuber a while back where they were showing how you can land your ship onto a planet's surface, and it's the wildest thing I've ever seen. I've never seen this in a video game before. Like, this isn't a cutscene. This is you actually playing the game, and it's crazy to me. I dream of having something like this for mobile devices, and I know it's a really long ways away, like 5 years is probably cutting it too short, honestly, but it would just be amazing, dude. You can't deny that. Players can engage in various different careers such as smuggling, piracy, merchant trading, bounty hunting, or enlisting as a pilot. And even though it's taking a long time to develop, Star Citizen is actually one of the most crowd-funded projects ever for a video game. So if it has that level of support, I think in the future it would be amazing for mobile devices. Let me know what you guys think. I'd love to know what you guys have to say. Another series I'd love to see on mobile devices is the Ghost Recon series. These are actually some of my favorite video games ever. I literally have thousands of hours on Ghost Recon Wildlands and Ghost Recon Breakpoint alone. I absolutely love those games. They are so much fun. This is an open world third-person series that has a whole bunch of different tactical elements, a super advanced weapon system, a massive and highly detailed map, and some of the coolest storylines I've ever seen in any video game, period. Ghost Recon is the type of series I can complete for hours on end, complete every single thing in the entire game, collect all the weapons, max out my character, and I can literally immediately restart and feel like I'm playing a completely different game. I know Ubisoft has kind of screwed up the series recently. They actually had a newer game after Breakpoint that they canceled before they released it because it had that bad of audience feedback, but if they went back to their roots and they released a game like Ghost Recon Wildlands for mobile devices, I think it would be one of the most successful mobile games ever, because this is the type of game that people want. People want an open world exploration game set in Bolivia with crazy different landscapes and sceneries, missions, side quests, weapons, weapon customization, vehicles, and just so much more. It is awesome. I love the Ghost Recon series. I hope it comes to mobile devices, and I hope you guys agree with me as well. The fifth series I would love to see on mobile devices is the Witcher series. A lot of people have claimed that specifically The Witcher 3 is one of the greatest video games of all time. A lot of people actually say that. This is an action RPG series based off of the book that was written a little while earlier, and it follows the adventures of Geralt of Rivia, a monster hunter known as the Witcher, who navigates a dark and morally complex fantasy world filled with magic, dangerous creatures, and an incredible in-depth story. The world is absolutely beautiful with amazing high-quality graphics, and the combat is top-notch. The Witcher series games have extremely intricate storylines, and as you play, you can make choices to change the outcome of the entire game, and it's really freaking cool. There are fantastic main story missions, side quests, and monster contracts, each with its own unique story and challenges, and the whole game is super complex in and of itself, where each individual action that you make can make big, everlasting consequences for the entire rest of the game. The Witcher series has an expansive open world setting, which is always a go-to in my book, and as mobile gaming gets more and more possible, something like this can actually become possible for mobile devices. I think it would be a fantastic addition to the mobile games that we have right now. Red Dead Redemption 2 is another fantastic game that people would love to see on mobile devices. Just like GTA 5, it might be a little ways off in terms of device processing power, but as the years progress and phones get more and more powerful, something like this is eventually going to be possible for mobile devices. If you know nothing about this game, it's made by Rockstar Games, the same developers who make GTA 5, and it's set in a fictionalized version of the United States in 1899 at the decline of the Wild West era. Players explore a massive open world filled with incredibly diverse landscapes such as forests, mountains, swamps, and towns, and the story follows Arthur Morgan, a member of the Vanderland gang, as he navigates the challenges of outlaw life. You can engage in shootings, robberies, hunting, horseback riding, or just explore as much to your heart's content. You can play in both first person and third person, and the game has this really cool honor system where it basically tracks your actions as a player, and depending on how good or bad you are, that determines how NPCs actually interact with you in-game. The game has amazing attention to detail, realistic graphics, dynamic weather, realistic animal behavior, an immersive world, and of course, single-player and multiplayer actions. It's a fantastic game. Before we get to the seventh game, I just want to say, as you've probably seen, my puppy has been joining me in my video, and he is now finally starting to whine, and he's not happy just sitting here while I'm talking, as you can see. So, yeah, buddy. He's going to join us at the end of the video, but I'm going to go put him down, and we'll continue on with the last few games on our list. The 7th game on our list is The Finals, a newer game than some of the other ones I've talked about before, but honestly, one of the ones I've been most interested in for the longest time now. This is a free-to-play first-person shooter where the whole unique idea behind it is there are completely destructible dynamic environments. You can burn down the arenas, send wrecking balls crashing into your opponents, or literally destroy entire buildings if you want to. I remember back in the day when Battlefield 4 came out for the first time, and it had like a building that completely crashed, and it was just like the coolest thing ever. Everybody loved how the environment was actually dynamic. Well, this is finally, like 10 years later, the new and improved version of that. Mobile gamers love fast-paced games. That's why COD Mobile, Combat Master, Bloodstrike, and a bunch of other fast-paced games are so popular on mobile devices, and The Finals just takes that to the extreme. It's way more chaotic than basically all of those games, with the destruction and the crazy fast gunplay. It's definitely the type of game that mobile gamers would really enjoy. I personally don't really know how well the destructible environments would actually run on mobile devices. I would assume it's probably very intensive, and that's the reason why we haven't heard of The Finals mobile game coming out yet. But you know what? One can dream. I'm dreaming for it, and I hope in the future at some point we can get some game like The Finals for mobile devices. Switching over to something completely different than the fast-paced chaos of The Finals, we have the Arma series as our 8th game on the list. This series is pretty much the most realistic military combat simulator that you can get right now. Arma 3 specifically is on a whole nother level of complexity, and just like Star Citizen, it's definitely a distant dream, but something I still hope could be on mobile devices in the future. This series has one of the biggest open worlds I've seen in a game like this, with incredibly detailed graphics, extremely realistic weapon mechanics, ballistics, and vehicle handling. You can play in both single player and multiplayer, and a big part of this game's multiplayer is you can either team up with other random players or fight against them. Honestly, it's whatever you choose. You can basically be friendly or be a bandit, and that's kind of like the signature names that people call each other in the Arma series. The crown jewel of this series, in my opinion, is the DayZ mod, and if something like this could come to mobile devices, dude, it would completely wipe out every other mobile zombie survival game that we have right now because it's so much better. Everybody would leave those other games and go to the Arma DayZ mod mobile game. There are just so many other mods that you can also add aside from DayZ to the Arma series. It's a super complex game in and of itself, and I feel like this is exactly the type of thing that mobile players want. It would just be awesome for mobile devices. The second to last addition to the list is the Far Cry series. Who wants this on mobile? I know I do, and I'm sure a lot of you guys do as well. The Far Cry series is a popular, long-running, first-person shooter series known for its open-world gameplay, memorable villains, and super immersive environments. Each game in the series features an expansive open-world environment that players can explore freely. The worlds are breathtakingly beautiful, from tropical islands to African savannas to even Himalayan mountains, dude. Personally, I think the Far Cry game in the Himalayas was one of the most incredible games ever when it first came out. I mean, seriously, these graphics are just top-notch. Gameplay is great for a majority of these games, super dynamic, and players can hunt, craft, and complete lots of different main and side missions as well. You have dynamic weather, day-night cycles, and so much more. There are super iconic villains in each of these games, from Vas Montenegro in Far Cry 3, Pagan Min in Far Cry 4, and Joseph Seed in Far Cry 5. And really the main selling point to all of these games is the amazing story packed into these games. There is so much attention to detail, and these are the types of games that you can get lost in for hours at a time. You start playing at 10 p.m. and it's morning before you know it. You have to go to school, and you're like, no, I want to keep playing Far Cry. Why the heck do I have to go to school, man? I don't know. I just think the Far Cry series would be amazing on mobile devices, and I think a majority of the people watching this video would agree as well. Finally, the last game I'd love to see on mobile devices is Subnautica. This is very different from the other games on this list, but I still think would be extremely fun and interesting and a nice, refreshing change for all of us mobile gamers. We have so many different zombie survival games right now, but not really any ocean survival games. I mean, we have Raft Mobile, you know that game, but I mean, like, that's not really an ocean survival game, you know? You're on a raft and you want to build your raft and you want to like avoid the ocean as much as you can. I'm talking about a game where you get a freaking submarine and you actually explore the depths of the ocean. You go way down until it's pitch black, and you're actually exploring in this open world ocean game. Maybe even encounter giant scary creatures in the process, because that's something that does happen in Subnautica. This game has a whole backstory. You basically crash land on this alien planet that's an entire ocean, and you need to figure out a way to get out of there, okay? You gotta kill all these alien fish to survive, gather materials to build your base, and you basically need to survive this harsh ocean environment. It has advanced survival mechanics where you have to manage your health, hunger, thirst, and oxygen levels. And there are special events like eclipses that can make gameplay even wilder than usual. You have lots of different tasks to complete, tons of mysteries in-game, and it's honestly way cooler than it looks on the surface. One of the coolest ideas for a survival game in my personal opinion, and definitely something us mobile gamers would absolutely love. I hope they consider bringing this type of game to mobile devices. And with that, that concludes our list for the top 10 games or series that I think a lot of people would absolutely love to see on mobile devices in the future. You might notice a lot of the games that I've talked about are games that are single player. There's like a whole storyline, and I think that's the biggest thing us mobile gamers are missing. So many games release and they're just a multiplayer shooting game or a multiplayer survival game, and there's no story. I want to play a single player game sometimes, and I think a lot of these games do it better than almost any other game out there. Now, obviously, if you want to play some of these games, you probably can get an emulator, at least for Android. Might be a little bit more difficult for iOS devices, but it's probably possible. It's just not really going to be that great, and I just hope some of these games actually come officially to mobile devices, because then it's game over. Mobile gaming would literally be the best. It would be the king, dude. With that, though, I really hope you all did enjoy this video. I would love to know, again, if you could comment down below your list for some of your favorite games you would love to see for mobile devices. I'm sure I missed some great games, but I just love to know what you guys have to say. So yeah, comment down below your list, and I think it would be awesome. I'd love to know what everybody has to say. But yes, thank you for staying until the end, guys. Leave a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe for more mobile gaming content like this, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye, guys. Say bye. He says bye to everybody.